Hello everyone, so we have quite an interesting character here who has gotten a lot of fame lately and will get a lot more. She goes by the name Jane Foster or Lady Thor. I won't be going over her comic origins, which will take time, but rather I will be quickly going over how powerful she is, and boy, is she strong. Note that aside being Lady Thor, later in the comics, for those new to this information, she becomes a Valkyrie, right? Basically a special female warrior group for the king of Asgard, which currently is Thor, in which she gets even way more powerful. And without further ado, let's dive in. Jane's narrative is just as important as Thor's, which is the epic kind, but that's because of two main things, right? She was Thor's lover and she's using Thor's power. This one ability has made her have numerous feats, right? And when I say the epic kind, it's a type of like the different kind of embodiment of Thor's archetype, and she sort of embodies this epic adventurous aspect of Thor, right? So yeah, stated, right? But I'm just giving my explanation so people can understand what it actually means. So yeah, she's able to not just fight but beat Volstagg as War Thor. For many who may wonder, War Thor is the warrior's madness fighting spirit within Thor, as the greatest warrior Asgard has had. Every time Thor got into this archetype state of character rage, he's been stated to have enough power to blow up the multiverse hundreds to thousands of times over. But all this will be dived in during my Thor part 2 video, so please do to subscribe so you do not miss out on that, right? I also do have a part 1, so you can go check that out. I'll link it down below. While they were fighting in the yawning void, a void beyond eternity, beyond the 9 realms, except Midgard, which are outside the multiverse. When I say except Midgard, because Midgard is what makes up the encompasses the tree. The other 9 mystical realms are outside the world tree. They link through its branches, right? So like these are largely inaccessible cardinal realms or mystical cardinal realms, right? So they were shaking the entire void larger than the conceptual infinite space of the 9 realms. This is worse than what a younger Avengers Thor is stated to do infinite times over. Not only that, but they were fighting across the 9 realms, giving both speed feats of not just irrelevant speeds, but on a larger and greater set of infinite scale. He stated that their attacks were so powerful across the 9 realms. If the attack were to come down on them on the 9 realms across these infinite transcended god realms, there won't be any place to hide. It's crazy how these are aspects of Thor's power, right? And finally, to prove Jane is a bit stronger than this Thor, a bit because War Thor could slap Mjolnir away, which is something many gods and higher beings have failed to do, except Khonshu, who stopped it casually. Jane was able to wield the War Thor hammer, proving she's a higher Thor who can wield the aspects of the warrior's madness. With some power of the god Tempest, she's able to hurt the Phoenix and hold it back. That is insane. That is very impressive. She's able to combat a lesser aspect of the Phoenix force, but notes this isn't the real thing as stated, also confirmed by Quentin Quire, who says he was sending the Phoenix to the heart of the Phoenix Force. The bird isn't the White Hot Room or the Universal Life Force, but its agent, which comes in different levels of power, and the Phoenix was a beyond creation tier Phoenix, right? This particular one. Most of them are usually at least creation tier. Subscribe so you do not miss out on my Phoenix Force videos. Well, I'm going balls deep in it, right? And Coach Master will mostly be giving me the information for that. Yeah, like I said, that wasn't a weak Phoenix because it was stronger than Shara and Kaithri, who can end creation with a kiss. Yet Gladiator, who is actually very powerful, can pull blood from them. Though they are stronger than him, I guess, but they jumped in. So are they really stronger? But yeah, Gladiator is a fucking monster, man. But Jane Foster could easily beat them, including Gladiator. She just pulled blood from him and them. I mean, she could damage an aspect of the Phoenix Force itself, called the Falcon, right? To further justify the powers of Shara and Kaithri, they rule creation from the Mikran Palace, right? Within the Mikran crystal, if I remember clearly. A crack from the Mikran crystal, can destroy the multiverse and even transcend the nexus of all reality, which is beyond all infinite stacked layers of transfinite planes of existence, which is a big high Multiversal plus and baseline boundless. Her thunderstorm, which she casually did, overpowered a comet of the Shayar gods, which should be no ordinary comet, of course, and the storm turned it into a little star. The lightning from it traveled from one galaxy to another in moments and shook worlds, half a universe from them. She's able to fight an old non-prime physical form of Odin and drag it out with him. The same Odin that can hold the eternal flames in his hand can fight Surtur, Ymir, and much more. Also, people should know Odin did not use brute force per se against her, to be honest, and used little of the Odin force, while she used her might and powers of Mjolnir. Still impressive because many will die from few hits from Odin, which is true. She moves across planets of 400 million miles at the speed to throw 2 punches from a god's perspective. I am sure that's faster than anything I have witnessed any speedster do, because these gods fight at irrelevant speed to even start with, right? But let's assume she's used talking about normal punches of maybe someone that's extremely athletic or the average person. That is insanely fast. To throw 2 normal punches, even though you're slow motherfucker, should not take you more than 3 seconds. Okay, maybe 5 seconds. Now to travel that distance in 5 seconds, that's massively, I would say you should be hitting around the high thousands, millions of times faster than the speed of light. She also fought against Thor when she became Jane Foster initially, right? She was inexperienced, but the durability and AP doesn't really change. Most of her great feats are done by the hammer. But it's crazy how she couldn't inflict damage on Thor and got low diffed immediately. Shows why Odin left the throne for him, right? After breaking out of Mephisto's illusion, Thor Jane and Valkyrie Jane beat for alternate Mephistos, and Thor Jane believes Valkyrie Jane alone would handle them. Of course, even alternate Mephistos aren't weak, but yeah, it's still a decent feat, especially how her 2 forms have created a god mindscape, which many people don't even talk about. That is impressive. But yeah, she's definitely not beating the main Mephisto, probably because she's really powerful. She's torn through time and space. Her weakest feat so far is being able to tear vibranium and adamantium with ease, which alone is very impressive when you think of Iron Man, Doctor Doom, Reed Richards, and Black Panther and Wolverine. Then she starts going crazier. But these men have stronger tech now, but it's still impressive considering the kind of things they've built around these metals that have tanked incredible powers. I didn't mention the Mangog feat because that wasn't a fight, that was atrocity. He bullied her. You can say she performed better than Thor and Odin, but remember Thor led the War of the Realms and used most of his power and fought Malekith. Also, he was going through a mental crisis of worthiness. Odin, on the other hand, got weakened from Jane's fight. Not really though, but he used most of his energy to save his wife after Loki betrayed and stabbed her, and also his physical body is old, which should also limit the amount of power he can take in, which is true concerning the fact him and Thor had to share the Tempest power to release it. But when he was younger, he beat a far more potent version that even current Thor couldn't face per se. But you can say her being fused with Mangog means nothing, but I'll link my God Tempest / Mjolnir video down below. Mangog changed nothing, but you can also argue this Tempest is stronger than what Odin fought for so many reasons, like combat experience, gaining more amps as Thor gained, and also absorption of many energies during combat, because Thor does absorb a lot of things, though he gives out way more than he has absorbed. and years of learning to harness her powers more and even take form aside having Mangog. I guess Thor fought a much stronger version, but the version Odin fought is greater than anything the hammer can project. I will also link my Mangog video down below, so please check that out. Jane Thor would scale to a term called boundless and infinite levels into it, but boundless at least via scaling far beyond the cosmos itself, which is a bare minimum a boundless structure. So yeah, for those who are new, you've seen the definition of what boundless is above: multiversal, hyperversal, autoversal, and high autoversal. So yeah. Now, as for Valkyrie Jane Foster, Valkyrie is much more powerful than Thor Jane Foster, right? Thor officially became king, and they journeyed to help death, the abstract concept not to die, from a higher conceptual abstract truer form of death, taking form of the death of living tribunal. That alone is above anything Jane Foster Thor has done. Though it seemed like a human, Jane did that, but no, it was within the consciousness and power of Valkyrie. She just used her physical body with her medical expertise. She has been able to carry Heimdall into not just the foreshore, but also the mystery. She doesn't set eyes in it because she isn't permitted to, and not like she can't. Her weapon can cut through all planes of reality, and her weapon was what made the Rainbow Bridge. The Rainbow Bridge can go as far into the far shore, and yeah, the Rainbow Bridge is really powerful. Let me just put it as that. People don't understand how high these 3 feet are, especially these last 2. But let me just say this: she solos your entire verse, and I kid you not. Anyways, she's still multiple infinite layers into boundless. That term always sounds wrong, but I just say it to keep it simplistic, right? You can say that boundless can be the last tier, and all these are just more transcendental layers into high autoversal plus. But when you conceptually transcend such tier, you just have to go to the next thing. So yeah, boundless is not yet the last tier. I don't know where people get that from. You can keep going higher into boundless. The real question then comes up: how powerful is Thor, Odin, and Loki? I mean, even her being far above Heimdall is insane, but how powerful really are these 3? I have an Odin video, God of Stories Loki video, and a Thor part 1 video talking mostly about archetypes and stuff. But I'm doing a Thor part 2 video where I go into really how powerful he is and mentioning all his feats. I'm likely going to mention at least 500 of Thor's feats, so get prepared if you want to see what that can do for you. And that is small because I have like 2000 Thor scans, but I'm just going to mention like 500 or so. Probably not even up to, because that will take forever, but the video is not going to be short. Of course, I'm going to explain in his conceptual and also partly archetypal existence for you all. If you found this video informative, please do like, share, comment, subscribe, and see you all next time. Peace.